Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. This is Bella with Bella and the Phoenix. Alright, so I know it's been a while since I've come on here, but you know, sometimes I move when spirit moves me, okay? And so didn't mean to be, you know, gone as long as I was, but I hope you guys had a happy pink full moon, and yeah, I hope that you guys are doing well. And so for today, it's been a while since I've done like a karmic reading, so I figured I want to dive into what is going on with the karmic. I feel like that for some, a few karmic contracts have ended, and that being said, I feel like the karmics are very confused. Like this deck I'm about to use, this is at the bottom of the deck, okay? So there's a lot of foggy energy. The karmic is confused, you know. Why is this happening? Why did the masculine leave? Why is he not reciprocating the feelings, right? And it's just one of those things that she feels blocked. Look at this, Two of Swords. Trying to anchor down a decision here. There's a crescent moon here on the top right. So yeah, I feel like this karmic is fighting this decision that was made and trying to undo the decision, but there's no way through, right? Because it's an X. Wow. Bottom of the deck we have the star. I feel like the stars have aligned and things have already taken place where there's no undoing this, you know what I mean? So I feel like with these three triangles here, it reminds me of like third parties, you know, especially because this karma feels like she's on the outside and you guys are over here aligned, and she feels like she's way on the other side, left out, you know. Yeah, look at that. Four of Pentacles with the Universe. So this is the World card over here on the right. So I feel like this karmic feels like she's trying to hold on and hoard, right? Not trying to let go. But it's time to finally, you know, let go and work on something else. Work on something new. To wrap up this cycle, because it's time to move on. Eight of Pentacles at the bottom. She's insisting on holding on to this pentacle. You see how this beaver is holding on to this particular pentacle. Doesn't care about the other pentacles here, but they're like trying to claim their territory, so to speak. Okay, so let's pull some more tarot cards to clarify, Spirit. Why is the Two of Swords here for the karmic? Yeah, you see the Death card. She knows this is over, right? I said that earlier. She feels like there was a decision that was made. She's trying to anchor down and fight it. But she knows this is over. Like, it's time to call it, you know? Wow, that's insane. Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So it's almost like she doesn't want to accept, you know, that this is happening, that she has to let go of these negative thoughts. She has to let go of the cycle so that she can move forward, you know, towards her divine masculine. Okay, why is this star here? Yeah, because it's time. Spirit is saying it's time for you guys to finally go where you're guided to go. your purpose, you know, what you're meant to do. And the stars are aligning now that now you guys are over here and the karmic's over here, no longer in the way. And it's interesting because this Knight of Swords is headed towards the Death card. So this is divine guidance. I feel like Spirit is guiding this masculine and this karmic to go ahead and free themselves. We have two white horses here. So it's time, you know. Wow. Eight of Swords at the bottom again. Okay. So yeah, I feel like it's time. No longer procrastinating. It's time to finally call it. Why is the Four of Pentacles here? Yeah, see, the wheel with the Four of Pentacles. This karmic was trying to hold on to this karmic cycle. Her head's like in the clouds, like this girl up here. Not really centered in reality. But I feel like, you know, this was part of her lesson to learn to let go when the lesson has been completed. Yeah, see, the High Priestess in reverse is talking about now secrets are coming out. Now the truth is so obvious you can't ignore it, right? And I feel like because it's in reverse, the High Priestess, it's basically where this karmic was ignoring her intuition, you know, not wanting to obey to the divine, you know, and just trying to be prideful and try to be like, no, it's my way or the highway. And Spirit has a way of humbling people, right? When you become too stubborn and trying to fight destiny, it's like when Spirit says it's time, right? Why is the universe here? Or the world? Wow, the Knight of Swords. It came out like on the side. So I feel like this person has been struggling, right? With anxiety, crying a lot at night. Because this is over. You know, the cycle has completed. We have a 9 and a 10 here. And a 10 here, right? So I feel like this person was fighting the universe, and now they see that they got beat up, you know, by the universe in a way. Like it, and now they feel weak with the Strength at the bottom in reverse. So they feel weak now because they didn't get this commitment anymore. You see, the Four of Wands is in reverse. Four of Wands is commitment, and it's in reverse. Then we have everything is fine, which is the Ten of Swords in reverse. So this person was trying to act like everything is fine. This is going to turn around in my favor. And Spirit was like, no, it's not. You have to move on with the Chariot, right? It's time to finally claim your power and be courageous. Why is the Eight of Pentacles here at the bottom, Spirit? For this karmic. The Page of Swords in reverse. So I feel like this karmic was obsessed with trying to work on this connection, but it was already over. You know what I mean? For some, I feel like this connection was over before it even began, and they were trying to fight destiny, right? Because they were forcing things. And now I feel like this person's trying to work on trying to get this masculine back, but there's no communication. Wow, and then we have the Eight of Swords in reverse again. So it's time to finally stop overthinking this, you know, and make a decision with the Two of Pentacles to finally break free from this idea, you know, break free from this idea that this is going to be the end result, that this is your person when it's not. You know, and it happens to all of us, you know. We all used to be somebody's karmic, you know, before we finally met our person. And it's not easy, you know, but if we hadn't gone through those lessons, right, with the wheel, we wouldn't be where we are today. So lessons are those stepping stones, right, to help you get to where you're supposed to be, where you're destined to be with the star here. Let's get some oracle cards to see what is this Death and Two of Swords, Spirit. Wow. Locked. Missing pieces, detached, locked away heart, can't move forward. Exactly. I mean, interesting because we saw that anchor trying to block it, right? And I said that. So I feel like this person was working really hard to try to get this masculine to open up to her, but it didn't happen because his heart was already taken by the Empress, which is you, Divine Feminine. You know, he already had a special place for his feminine, and this karmic couldn't fit in that spot. You know, even though she tried, right? She tried hard, but I mean, you can't force love. You can't force connections to happen. And I feel like this karmic saw the signs, okay, that they were getting synchronicities that, you know, this is not going to happen no matter how many times you try or how sexy you try to look towards the masculine. He's only going to see you as not really somebody that he feels is a mirror reflection of him. He sees you as just somebody that he cares for, of course. I feel like the masculine does care for the karmic, and he loves her, right? I feel like he does love her, but it's not that kind of love where it helps you to be your best self. If anything, karmic connections, even though we love the person, right? We don't feel like we're being our best. You know, we don't feel like we're loving ourselves how we should. This keeps coming out. And it's funny because I've been talking about love. So I'm just going to let it finally come out. But yeah, I feel like this person is now headed towards a rebirth, right? They made a decision that they're going to finally stop blocking themselves from true love. And they're being guided to love themselves. And I feel like this karmic is now realizing also that she needs to love herself and also have compassion and forgive herself for putting up with this situation for as long as she did. But at the same time, she needed to realize some lessons, right? To learn how to love herself more. Look at that. Bottom of the deck, we have conflict. So it was hard for this person to love themselves because they were conflicted. There was like a lot of clashing here. Irreconcilable. It's like this love was already doomed. I mean, look at that storm. That ship is not sailing smoothly, okay? You know, so I feel like in one hand, this relationship taught the masculine how to resolve conflict. You know, what it looks like to not get along with someone. You know, how it is when you are not trusting your intuition or not loving yourself. And that's the path that you end up in, is with somebody that is completely the opposite of you, that you don't see yourself as, you know, their reflection of you, or you don't see yourself with them long term. And same thing with the karmic. I don't feel like she saw this connection going the extra mile, even though she wanted to think that. But at the same time, she could have been lying to herself. You know, a lot of us tend to lie to ourselves, right? When we want something really bad and we're holding on to it so tightly that it's like we don't become rational anymore, you know? It's like your head's in the clouds. I literally said that earlier. And we saw that giraffe earlier with the head in the clouds. Yeah, so now the call here is Spirit telling this person it's time to finally unblock yourself from being in this cycle. It's funny because even this phone has like that circle that when you used to dial in the old phones. And it is like a wheel. You're repeating the same patterns that you've been holding on to because you think that's safe. You think that that's normal. That's what you grew up doing. And it's like we end up making the same patterns, same mistakes that a lot of our, you know, what's it called? that a lot of our families make, right? And it's up to us to finally break that cycle. Only you can break that cycle, right? Now you need to be focused on you. So I feel like now this karmic's realizing that you're the only one for this masculine, right? She was trying to fight this lesson, but I mean, look how he's looking at her. She knows that he could never look at her in the same way that he looks at his divine feminine. And that's heartbreaking, right? But at the same time, that's when you know that this person is not for you, and you have somebody way better coming that's waiting for you to meet them, but you're stuck on this other person. And so the sooner the karmic lets go, right, and completes the cycle. This card originally came out on the side like this. I feel like she's going to finally, you know, be in the reverse position to let go of the anxiety. Yeah, let go of the jealousy. Rumors, pettiness, being envious, talking behind back. So I feel like this karmic is struggling late at night because she's crying, she's sad, she's upset. She's very envious of the divine feminine, very envious of the connection that you guys have, because she's wishing and hoping that that is what's in store for her, you know? And the good thing is that it is, but it's not this masculine that she's thinking of, right? Her masculine is somebody that she, you know, probably for some already knows, somebody from her childhood, or it could be somebody that she's going to meet in the future, you know? And sometimes it takes years. I mean, I did not meet my person until I was in my mid-30s, okay? So sometimes it happens later in life when you're like in your 30s, 40s, but at least it will happen. And when that happens, you'll be ready because you've been working on yourself. Why is the Eight of Pentacles here, Spirit? Yeah, see? Now we have single, independent, freedom from attachment available to date. So yeah, I feel like this karma was holding on, not wanting to let go, because we saw the Four of Pentacles, and now she's wanting a brand new beginning, but now she finds herself independent now, like on her own. This reminds me of like the Hangman. So it's almost like she's trying to embrace this new life, the singlehood, you know, letting go of this attachment that she had to this masculine. But at the same time, it's like she has to be able to feel her emotions, you know, because we have earth energy and we have water energy here. So I feel like she needs to balance out her energy and not get into this gossip energy where she's focused too much on the outside world, what's going on with other people. Spreading rumors, petty conversations, smearing your image, making you the fool. I almost get here like for some of these karmics, they're worried about how they're going to look once a masculine starts seeing his divine feminine. You know, how people are going to perceive that whole situation. And that's not going to help matters, right? Because it's already tough enough to have to go through a breakup, divorce, separation. It's like you're putting more weight on your shoulders by, you know, focusing too much on what people think, and none of that matters, because it's going to be like one of those things where people talk about it one day and the next, you know, they're talking about something else, because people only care about what they got going on in their lives, honestly. Nobody's worried about so much about other people's business. And if they are worried about other people's business, that's when you need to start evaluating, like, do I really need you in my life? Because that's not a good energy to be around people that just want to see you fail and, you know, that are just gossipers. Yeah, see? Friend zone. So a decision was made. Now this masculine is just friends with this karmic. They're not together anymore. Okay? Yeah, look at that bottom of the deck. Taking out the trash. Finally dumping that loser, cutting ties, emotional clearing, self-love, spring cleaning, healing. And here in the United States, we're in the spring energy. We're in the spring weather. So, yeah, I mean, this masculine is finally clearing up any kind of hurt that he has been holding on to from the past. He's loving himself. And I also feel like this karmic is learning to love herself too, by also clearing out her closet, you know, clearing out the debris. Look at this. An affair, hiding something. Use discretion, surprise, collaborate, protecting, denying risk. So, remember how I said sometimes people lie to themselves, right? To hold on to something. I feel like this karmic was trying to hide, you know, that they really weren't in a good place. It's like it's almost like she was trying to use marriage or whatever they tried to get this masculine to commit to as a way to put a band-aid on things. You know what I mean? They see your light, a total keeper, genuine, compatible, authentic, healthy, a good choice. So I feel like this karmic saw this masculine as a good choice to commit to him or whatever the situation was, to, you know, protect herself somehow. Could be financially. This could also be that somebody hid their relationship, maybe from family, because this is secrecy on here, you know. So I feel like at the time, this karmic and this masculine thought it was a good idea to make it official in whatever capacity that was for your situation. You know, take it how it resonates. But then see, we have bride here. So I feel like somebody could have pulled the strings here, manipulated this masculine, addictive relationship, pulling the strings for this person to commit to them because they were pretending like they were genuine in this manipulation, but they weren't. You see? They were trying to use discretion, like they weren't trying to reveal their agenda. And we saw the High Priestess in reverse earlier, and that's about releasing secrets. So I feel like now the cat's out of the bag. I feel like this masculine finally saw this karmic's true colors, and that's why they started clashing. That's why the differences started being very obvious to him, that this bride is not the perfect bride, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm not saying people need to be perfect, but I mean, as in like this picture that she painted of herself to be this perfect person, because she was trying to protect herself, or she was in denial about something. She wanted to push him or something, you know, to take a risk with her, to kind of like adapt some kind of idea or something, right? To be on her side. And as time went on, I feel like they started being on two different pages, no longer on the same page, you know what I mean? Now we have abandonment here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So somebody had to finally jump ship and save themselves, because this is already a sinking boat. You know? This connection was not based on truth. It was based on lies. And anything that's based on lies is not going to last, right? Especially if people had hidden agendas. Look, bride came out again. Look at this. Siren. Alluring, seductive, enticing, mysterious, threatening, vindictive, rebellious. That came out with bride at the bottom, okay? So this masculine saw this bride as pure, you know, like she had good intentions, but deep down, he did not see her true colors. She was threatening. She was very vindictive. She could have had something over him, you know? And you know, putting it over him by saying, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to talk about you. Because we saw the gossip card earlier, right? And then we have rumors here. So, wow, this karmic really did something terrible like that to try to get her way, and that's not a good foundation to have when it comes to true love. You know, this is a wicked, mischievous energy. Naughty, harmful, mischievous, dangerous, false portrayal, lie, cheat, beware. Okay, look at the horns on that heart. I mean, I'm not making this up. I mean, this is just insane. How everything's just going with the message, you know? Spirit is just coming through here, really putting it out there. I mean, I'm just reading the cards, you know? I'm picking up the energy, but, you know, this person had bad intentions with their intentions of why they wanted to get married. For some of them, they could have been using the masculine for his money to try to get, you know, security. If they got married, maybe they don't have a prenup, right? Especially because we have this document, the sealed document. So she was like, I got to seal this deal so that I can come out on top. But now she's being humbled because now Spirit is teaching her a lesson. Like, you can't, you know, manipulate people into doing things for your advantage, because that's not right. That's not fair. That's not, you know, like, it's not morally ethical. Like, it's not correct. It's not right. And, you know, this person made a bold move to try to invite this person into doing this with them, but it backfired. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It backfired, because when you try to do something, you know, and you're, you know, like, as a karmic, when we're in low vibration, pretty soon our intentions, you know, the agenda, everything's going to come out in the open. The truth always comes out, right? And that's what's happened here. What is this bold move? Invitation. Who's walking who? Control, power issues, resistant, unenthusiastic, being led on, getting pulled, overwhelmed. Yeah, so I feel like this karmic was wearing the pants in the relationship, basically, you know what I mean? And she was the one that was being proactive, pulling the strings. We saw the puppet master earlier. Manifesting, trying to be in the now, blowing bubbles, kissing the masculine's ass, basically, okay? And he fell for it, right? Because he loved it. He loved the attention. He thought that she came from an honest place. But he realized that she was like walking him, like he was like a dog, and she was walking him, running the show. And she led him on. And I feel like he got his karma, because for some of these masculines, he led you on, divine feminine, right? And I feel like now the tables turned, right? Now he got a taste of his own medicine, of what it's like to, you know, tell somebody one thing and then have different intentions. I feel like that's what happened to him now. You know, he kind of got a taste of what he did to you, the karmic did to him. You know, because what goes around comes back around, right? So, I mean, that's just the law of the universe. So now this karmic with 8 of Pentacles and single, we have en garde. Competing for someone at an impasse, guarded, needs space, takes time, skilled interaction. So I feel like this karmic is trying to accept that now this is her new reality of being single, but it's almost like she still has this mindset where she still wants to compete, you know what I mean? That she still wants to hang on the sidelines and see if she has a chance to get this masculine back. Yeah, she wants to start a new beginning with this masculine still. And it's like, Spirit is letting her know it's time for you to finally love yourself. The Queen of Cups, okay? Finally start loving yourself, to no longer drain yourself, right? Of your resources, of your energy. Pour that energy into you, is what Spirit is saying. We have Sky Father here, which is the Emperor, right? Wow. Whew, this is a heavy reading. So yeah, I mean, from what we've seen here, I just feel like things have happened the way they were supposed to. I feel like both masculine and karmic have learned their lessons finally. There has been an ending, okay? And I feel like the karmic's still hoping that he's gonna come back, but I think with time she's gonna realize, no, this was the right decision for us to move on, because, you know, sometimes when we are in a connection, we don't see how bad it really is until we remove ourselves from it and don't talk to that person for a couple months. And then you start realizing, wow, this person didn't really care for me the way that I needed them to be there for me, you know? And with time, you start realizing, I'm glad we're you know, trying to work on this anymore, because you start noticing the ways that they didn't love you the way that you deserved, you know what I mean? And that's when you really start realizing and embracing your singlehood and be able to see things differently. But it's not going to happen. That epiphany is not going to happen if you're still trying to be with that person. You got to let time take its course. Look at that. That death will come. Mortal, finite, fragile. Okay. So this is another confirmation that this is over. This is over. Honor, high standards, idealistic, nobility. Wow, I feel like this is so on point, because Spirit is saying here, you need to just honor the cycles of life, because when something is dead, it's dead. You can't try to revive it. Okay, you need to have high standards, right? And not try to fight for something that's already ancient history. Okay? Ancient. Ancestry, Egypt, magical inheritance. Okay? Whew. This is a heavy reading. So, I just get here that, you know, it was due time for this cycle to finally complete for this masculine and the karmic. Let's just see, how is the karmic feeling, Spirit? How does she feel towards the masculine? Wow. She finally feels free. Okay? And that's insane, because for a while it just seems like she wanted to stay with him, right? But for some of you, I feel like this karmic's finally realizing this person was keeping me trapped. You know, and now that's why we saw the single card. It showed that word independent, attachment, right? What was it? Right here. Look at that. Independent, freedom from attachment. Okay, that's what it says. Sorry. But you see, same energy here. And it's funny because if you look at it this way, it looks like a bird, right? She has her arms open. Freeing herself from these negative thoughts. Breaking free from this cage. And cleansing her energy with the water. Bottom of the deck is angry. Angry and, you know, platonic love. So, I feel like this karmic is starting to let go of the anger. You know what I mean? Like she's trying to let go of the anger. She's getting some kind of epiphany that this love was just platonic. It wasn't deep. In this actual deck, there's romantic love and platonic love. And this one's the platonic one. So this was more of like a motherly love. Like maybe she felt like she was mothering this masculine, like being very motherly towards him. And that could have worked for a time, right? Maybe that's what brought them together. But it's not meant to last if that's what it was meant to be. You know what I mean? If the masculine needed that in his life when he met her, then that's what he needed. And if she needed to nurture somebody as a lover, then maybe that was just supposed to happen. you know? But look at this, cut down, yeah. Cutting it out, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment. So I just feel like finally things got to where this person finally cut this karmic out, you know? They cut this karmic out of their life. Okay, let's get some romance angels. See what else needs to come out. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So yeah, I feel like the masculine is going towards his divine feminine. Okay, wow, bottom of the deck, this could be the one. Okay. Give me a card, Spirit, for how the karmic feels. Yeah, so she's retreating, okay? She's disconnecting from the world, right? She could be not really interacting with anybody. Because right now in this reading, it just seems like she cares a lot about what people think, rumors, right? And she's trying to let go of the control issues of worrying about what people think, right? And Spirit is telling her, allow the situation to unfold naturally, right? Because like I said earlier, when people start minding their own business, you're going to be like, no more news to them. You know, they're going to be on to the next thing. And like I said earlier, if they care too much about what you got going on, you need to really watch who you're surrounding yourself with, because those are people that are not really there for you. They're just there to make themselves feel better if you're not doing as good as them. You know what I mean? They don't want you to do better than them. And that's why sometimes they're so in your business, because they want to know that it's almost like an ego thing. Like they want to know that they're doing better than you. You know what I mean? And those are people you don't need. Okay? Wow. Passion ignited. Their intense sexual desire towards you is making it hard for them to know the difference between lust and love. So yeah, I feel like this masculine, wow, he's watching you, divine feminine. They've been watching your social media to see what you post and get clues to know how to approach you. So something lit up this flame within the masculine, because I feel like he also got involved with this karmic because, you know, he could have been lusting after her. But I feel like now he knows that that kind of lust is not long lasting. It doesn't keep his interest. And he's been watching you. Let me get one more. Mysterious one. The mystery of you will intrigue them. You keep them guessing and engaged, very different from the rest. Okay. So I feel like this masculine can't stop thinking about how you have kept him, like this card right here. You have kept yourself in this space in his heart, locked in there in his heart, wedged in there. Like there's a hole in there. Nobody else can, you know, fill that hole or try to get in there and, you know, and penetrate the heart, because you're already in there. You're already in his heart. And I feel like the karmic and the masculine are healing. They're at the end of a big healing cycle, coming to peace with their past and bringing back balance in the connection. Wow. This reminds me of the Hermit with that lantern there. And like, you see how she's half naked. So I feel like both masculine and karmic are starting to heal, right? Now they're starting to end this pattern of behavior or cycles that they were in, because we saw the world card, right? And they're starting to heal. They're in the water. They're trying to feel their emotions out, right? Because they could have been avoiding how they were feeling, or, you know, denying the truth by lying to themselves, right? To kind of paint a picture of what they would like life to be, and that was not the truth. I mean, we saw that storm with the boat clashing. That's not smooth sailing. That's like, you better find some kind of land or you're gonna sink. You know what I mean? Let's get one more card. One more card, Spirit. What do you want to say, Spirit, about this karmic situation? Yeah, see? Right when I was talking about emotions. Emotions coming and going. Okay? It has been very emotional, and I feel like if the masculine or the karmic have been stifling their emotions, now everything's coming up to the surface, especially with this pink moon that we just had. It's going to really show them that now that they're letting their emotions come up, they're going to feel sad, broken, and alone, you know? Because it was time. It was time to finally feel the emotions. You can't just be operating out of logic all the time. Yeah, see, so now they learned their lesson. It's funny because we have the Egypt card here tonight, and I talked about ancient history. So that's confirmation, okay? So this is Spirit confirming this karmic situation is in the past now. It already happened. Things have been finally moving along, even though you can't see it, Divine Feminine. But yeah, it was a roller coaster, okay? Very up and down energy. But, you know, when you get to the highest high, you end up crashing, right? So this is already in the past. And it's ancient history now. And I feel like, you know, with karmic partners, the reason why they're so hard to move on from is because if we didn't resolve our connection with them in a past life, then we have to resolve it in this life. And that's why they carry over into this lifetime. And so a lot of times we confuse karmics for soulmates because we feel like, well, if we've been, you know, seeing each other throughout this lifetime, or if we keep coming back to each other, then that means we're meant to be, right? It's like, no, not necessarily. That just means that you guys are repeating cycles, you know, toxic cycles that don't necessarily help you finally break the chain. And so when you finally learn the lesson, then you realize, okay, I get it now. Let me get one card, please, Spirit, and wrap this up. Angel of Time. Interesting, because I was literally just talking about like past lives. And it says here, working too hard. If that's not indication of what this whole entire reading has been about, I don't know what is, you guys. But that's basically Spirit saying you've been working against the divine karmic, you know, or the divine masculine, or the divine feminine. You know, take it how it resonates. But Spirit is saying that you need to allow for things to fall when it's divine timing. Not on your time, on your, you know, control and manipulation. You're working too hard. You need to work on you instead of worrying about working on time. Yeah, and that's your solution. A lantern fairy, a clear solution. And I saw that earlier with the healing card. Remember I mentioned the healing card? Looks like a lantern. This card here. Okay. I mean, confirmation. I feel like this person is now seeing the truth, right? Now they're seeing the clear solution that they didn't see before. We start out this reading with 7 of Cups with that giraffe, right? With the clouds in her head. She couldn't see where she was going. And I feel like this karmic was, in a way, like that giraffe, pretty much in a foggy energy, not being able to see clearly, not even noticing what she was doing, what he or she was doing, especially being like manipulative and like hiding their agenda. Sometimes people do that subconsciously. They're not even aware that they're doing it. But look at this pink lotus fairy at the bottom underneath that. A time for spirit, okay? So this was all meant to get both the masculine, the karmic, and you, divine feminine, for all of you guys to be in this healing space. You know? That's what it was meant for, to get you closer to spirit, to get you closer to your spirituality and your zen, you know what I mean? Like, bring back into balance your yin yang. And look at this. I am Kali. From death comes rebirth. This is beautiful. We saw the death card earlier, right? And now this is like confirmation here saying, you know, this may not be the end of everything, right? It's the end of one chapter, but now you're opening up to a new chapter. So like the karmic needs to also realize that this chapter is done because it was not meant to go past this point, right? Even though you fought it, spirit had to finally step in and guide you. Like, you're not supposed to be with this person. You have somebody else waiting for you that you haven't even met yet. And you need to get ready for, you know, loving yourself so that you can get in that same vibration where you meet your person. But you're not going to be able to find them when you're with the wrong person. You know what I mean? I mean, it's insane. So, wow, this is a very different kind of karmic reading. I feel like it was very positive. I don't feel like sometimes, you know, karmic readings are very positive. And I feel like, you know, it's not the karmic's fault. They are where they're at. And we're not saying we're better, right? We're divine feminines, but we're not saying we're better than the karmics, because we've also been karmics, okay? So I just feel like it's good to see this energy that the karmic is starting to learn her lessons and learning how you can't fight destiny, even your own destiny. You're not meant to be with this person because you have something better coming. You know what I mean? And you're working too hard. You're working against the angels. You're working against time. It's like you're working against yourself. And Spirit is saying it's time for you to get back to yourself so that you can find a clear solution, right? And not be in that foggy energy, confused. Because I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the reading, but I feel like the karmics have been confused, right? Like they don't understand why this connection didn't work, even though they did everything that they thought would work, because maybe that worked with other connections. But when you're dealing with a divine masculine, he's supposed to be on a divine mission with his divine feminine. And it doesn't matter what earthly, you know, scheme or thing, anything you try to do in the physical world, you know, with the law or anything like that, nothing can prevent this masculine from wanting to be with his divine feminine, because that's why they're divine counterparts. They're meant to be together, you know, and you can't fight, you can't fight that. And why would you want to fight that, you know? And that's when you realize, karmics, if you're watching this, that's when you realize it's your ego that's in the way. Your ego's the one that's trying to act like you have to win this war or whatever. And that's not benefiting you. It's not benefiting the masculine. It's just easier to really dig deep and you know, it's just better. It's not easier, I should say. The better word is, it's just better for you to really finally learn to let go and not hold on so tightly. Because we saw the Four of Pentacles, that squirrel was holding on, right, to all his pentacles. And it's like, when you're trying to hold on to something, it's because you don't think you're gonna get more blessings. You know what I mean? And you are. But it's like you're blocking yourself. We started the reading with the Two of Swords, you know, that we saw those swords crossing each other. It's like you're blocking yourself from your rebirth, because we saw the Death card come out, or, you know, on that spread, because you're blocking yourself from your own rebirth. And now that Spirit had to intervene, now you're finally starting to grow, to free yourself. And I can't believe that that free card came out for her, that she's feeling free, you know, because she probably got tired of trying to fight him all the time, right? Trying to fight against, you know, how he felt towards the feminine. That can drain anybody, you know. And she had to finally cut that out. Stop that pattern of fighting him and being angry at him. It's like he can't help how he feels. You know what I mean? The Divine Feminine is already wedged in his heart. You can't remove it. So, anyways, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope that was helpful. Comment below if this resonated. If you'd like to book a reading with me, I also do karmic readings, soulmate readings, career readings, just personal readings. Like if you just want to know what Spirit has in store for you in the next few months, we can take a look at the energies coming up for the next few months. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Give it a thumbs up if you resonated with it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!